A 65 years old diabetic male presented with chest pain and sweating for 4 hours. Now look at the ECG. There are ST segment depressions with upright positive T waves in lead V1, V2 and V3, while there is a small R wave in V1 and there are tall R waves in V2 and V3. Now there are three possibilities. Number one, these are reciprocal ST segment depressions. But look at the ECG, there are no ST elevations in any other lead, so delete this option. Now, in order to differentiate whether this is NSTEMI or true posterior wall MI, let's record ECG from posterior leads. In order to record posterior ECG leads, electrodes are placed in the same horizontal plane as V6. V7 is placed in left posterior axillary line, V8 is placed at the tip of left scapula, and V9 is placed in left paraspinal region. There are ST segment elevations in lead V7, V8 and V9. So this is true posterior wall MI and not NSTEMI. Now look at the guidelines of European Society of Cardiology. They say if you find isolated ST segment depressions of at least 0.5 mm, that is half a small box in leads V1, V2 and V3, then always record posterior chest leads V7, V8 and V9. And if you find ST segment elevations of at least 0.5 mm or half small box in these posterior leads, then most likely this is isolated posterior myocardial infarction and most likely culprit artery is left circumflex artery. That is angiography of our patient, and you can see that there is thrombus in left circumflex artery, because of which it is 100% occluded. Now we are deploying stent in left circumflex artery, and you can see that after placing stent it is open, crisp and clear. That's how primary PCI can save lives.